guys, welcome back to Daily Bible Kids. Sorry, I was trying to do this at the same time. Today we are doing Genesis chapter 27 and 28. Today we are missing Caden because he is doing his own thing at school. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. We got left off over at Isaac's covenant with Abimelech. Now, Jacob steals Esau's blessing. One day when Isaac was old and turning blind, he called for Esau, his older son, and said, "My son." "Yes, father," Esau replied. "I'm an old man now," Isaac said, "and I don't know when I may die. Take your bow and quiver full of arrows, and go out into the open country and hunt some wild game for me. Prepare my favorite dish and bring it here for me to eat. Then I will pronounce the blessing that belongs to you, my firstborn son, before I die." But Rebekah overheard what Isaac had said to his son Esau. So when Esau left to hunt for the wild game, she said to her son Jacob, "Listen, I overheard your father say to Esau, 'Bring me some wild game and prepare a delicious meal. Then I will bless the Lord's presence before I die. Now, my son, listen to me. Do exactly as I tell you. Go out to the flocks and bring me 2 fine young goats. I'll use them to prepare your father's favorite dish. Then take the food to your father so he can eat it and bless you before he dies." But look, Jacob replied to Rebekah, "My brother Esau is a hairy man." You all right there?
Is that true?
Okay, leave it alone, please. "My brother Esau is a hairy man, and my skin is smooth. What if my father touches me? He'll see that I'm trying to trick him, and then he'll curse me instead of blessing me." But his mother replied, "Then let the curse fall on me, my son. Just do what I tell you. Go out and get the goats for me." So Jacob went out and got the young goats for his mother. Rebekah took them, prepared a delicious meal, just the way Isaac liked it. Then she took Esau's favorite clothes, which were there in the house, and gave them to her younger son Jacob. She covered his arms and the smooth parts of his neck with the skin of the young goats. Then she gave Jacob the delicious meal, including the freshly baked bread. So Jacob took the food to his father. "My father," he said. "Yes, my son," Isaac answered. "Who are you, Esau or Jacob?" "I'm sorry, right there. And I'm blind. I'm going to know the sound difference between my kids. Just letting you know." Jacob replied, "It's Esau, your firstborn son." And who knows, maybe they can sound alike. Because there's times where you two, I know it's like there's different in sex ages between you two. But there's times where I've heard you two sound almost alike.
It's like me and Caden too. A few times.
Yes.
A few times you.
Sometimes, yes, and sometimes I can hear my own voice in you too. It's Esau, your firstborn son. I've done as you told me. And here's the wild game. Now sit up and eat it, so you can give me your blessing." Isaac asked, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" The Lord your God, put it in my path," Jacob replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come closer so I can touch you and make sure you really are Esau." So Jacob went closer to his father, and Isaac touched him. The voice is Jacob's, but the hands are Esau's. So he knows. He knows it's his son. A different son, but feels different. Isaac said, but he did not recognize Jacob, because Jacob's hands felt hairy just like Esau. So Isaac prepared to bless Jacob. "But are you really my son Esau?" he asked. "Yes, I am," Jacob replied. Then Isaac said, "Now, my son, bring me the wild game. Let me eat it, and then I will give you my blessing." So Jacob took the food to his father, and Isaac ate it. He also drank the wine that Jacob served him. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Please, come closer. Come a little closer and kiss me, my son." So Jacob went over and kissed him. And when Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he was finally convinced, and he blessed his son. He said, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of the outdoors, which the Lord has blessed. From the dew of heaven and the riches of the earth, may God always give you abundant harvests of grain and bountiful new wine. May many nations become your servants, and may they bow down to you. May you be the master over your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. All who curse you will be cursed, and all who bless you will be blessed." Please stop. And that was the blessing he gave his son. As soon as Isaac had finished blessing Jacob, and almost before Jacob had left his father, Esau returned from his hunt. Esau prepared a delicious meal and brought it to his father. Then he said, "Sit up, my father, and eat of my wild game so you can give me your blessing." But Isaac asked, "Who are you?" Esau replied, "It's your son, your firstborn son, Esau." Isaac began to tremble uncontrollably, and he said, "But then who just served me wild game? I have already eaten it, and I blessed him just before you came. And yes, that blessing must stand." When Esau heard his father's words, he let out a loud and bitter cry. "Oh, my father, what about me? Bless me too!" he begged. But Isaac said, "Your brother was here, and he tricked me. He has taken away your blessing." Esau exclaimed, "No wonder his name is Jacob, for now he has cheated me twice. First he took my rights as a firstborn, and now he's stolen my blessing. Oh, haven't you saved even one blessing for me?" Isaac said to Esau, "I have made Jacob your master, and have declared that all of his brothers will be his servants. I have guaranteed him an abundance of grain and wine. What is left for me to give you, my son, I don't know." Esau pleaded, "But do you only have just one blessing? Oh, my father, bless me too." Then Esau broke down and he wept. He cried. Finally, his father Isaac said to him, "You will live away from the riches of the earth, and away, bless you,
Thank you.
and away from the dew of the heaven above. You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you decide to break free, you will shake his yoke from your neck." So basically, when you decide that you want to be free from your brother, it's going to be okay. You'll be free. That means you will shake the yoke from your neck. So from that time on, Esau hated Jacob. Wait, did I do that right? But when you decide to break free, you will shake his yoke from your neck. Yeah. It just says shake. I don't know if it's breakthrough. It just says shake. I think the yoke, and not the. I could have swore that was a thing that was holding on between the donkeys.
You're not even going.
Yeah, a wooden crosspiece that is fastened over the neck of two animals and attached to the plow. Yeah, it's what basically holds the two animals together to keep them in straight lines. So it just says, you will shake his yoke from your neck. So I don't understand if it's like, it just says shake it. I don't know if it's like breaking free. Like if you,
I think you,
like when you decide to break free, you'll break free, but it just says shake, so I don't know.
I think it means like they're on it, so they shake out of it, so he's free out to go anywhere he wants.
Okay, so from that time on, Esau hated Jacob because their father had given Jacob the blessing, and Esau began to scheme. I will soon be mourning my father's death. Then I will kill my brother Jacob.
Oh, no.
But Rebekah heard about Esau's plans. So she sent for Jacob and told him, listen, Esau is consoling himself by plotting to kill you. So listen carefully, my son. Get ready and flee to my brother Laban in Haram. Stay there with him until your brother cools off. When he calms down and forgets what you've done to him, I will send for you to come back. Why should I lose both of you in one day? Then Rebekah said to Isaac, I'm sick and tired of these local Hittite women. I would rather die than see Jacob marry one of them. Any questions? That's the end of chapter 27.
I don't have a question, but it's actually like something I'm gonna say.
What's up?
I about almost started crying when at the part where Esau was burst out crying to the thing. I just felt so
Yeah.
bad for him.
I know, right?
That little schemer brat.
I know what schemer means.
But God has a plan for Jacob. Okay? There's always a plan. God always has a plan in this life. Okay? And from Jacob, a lot of things happen. Okay? God already called it. He already said it was going to happen before it happened, didn't he? Okay? From the time before he grabbed his brother's ankle to the splitting of nations, ankle to the brothers fighting to the split of nations, like, God already called it. He already knew this. Okay? What?
So, I know what scheme means.
What?
Running away.
No, scheming means plotting. Like, coming up with a plan to do something bad. That's scheming. Okay, anything else? Okay, chapter 28. So, Isaac called for Jacob, blessed him, and said, You must not marry any of these Canaanite women. Instead, go at once to Padan Aram, to the house of your grandfather Bethuel, and marry one of your uncle Laban's daughters. May God Almighty bless you and give you many children, and may your descendants multiply and become many nations. May God pass on to you and your descendants the blessings he promised to Abraham. May you own this land where you are now living as a foreigner, for God gave this land to Abraham. So Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Padan Aram to stay with his uncle Laban, his mother's brother, the son of Bethuel, the Aramean. Esau knew that his father, Isaac, had blessed Jacob and sent him to Padan Aram to find a wife, and that he had warned Jacob, You must not marry a Canaanite woman. And he also knew that Jacob had obeyed his parents and had gone to Padan Aram. It was also now very clear to Esau that his father did not like the local Canaanite women. So Esau visited his uncle Ishmael's family and married one of the Ishmael's daughters, in addition to the wives he already had. His new wife's name was Mahalath. She was the sister of Nebaioth and the daughter of Ishmael, Abraham's son. Meanwhile, Jacob left Beersheba and traveled toward Haran. At sundown, she arrived at a good place to set up camp and stopped there for the night. Jacob found a stone to rest his head against and lay down to sleep. So he used a rock as a pillow. As he slept, he dreamed of a stairway that reached from... Okay, so this part is very popular. When you ever hear Stairway to Heaven, okay, this is where this verse comes from. As he slept, he dreamed of a stairway that reached from the earth up to heaven. And he saw the angels of God going up and down the stairway. At the top of the stairway stood the Lord, and he said, I am the Lord, the God of your godfather Abraham, and the God of your father Isaac. The ground you are lying on belongs to you, and I am giving it to you and your descendants. Your descendants will be as numerous as the dust of the earth. They will spread out in all directions, to the west and to the east, to the north and to the south. And all of the families of the earth will be blessed through you and your descendants. What's more, I am with you, and I will protect you wherever you go. One day, I will bring you back to this land. I will not leave you until I have finished giving you everything I have promised you. Then Jacob awoke from his sleep and said, Surely the Lord is in this place, and I wasn't even aware of it. But he was also afraid and said, What an awesome place this is! It is none other than the house of God, the very gateway to heaven. The next morning Jacob got up very early. He took the stone he had rested his head against and set it upright as a memorial pillar. Then he poured olive oil over it. He named that place Bethel, which means house of God, although it was previously called Luz. Then Jacob made this vow, If God will indeed be with me and protect me on this journey, and if he will provide me with food and clothing, and if I return safely to my father's home, then the Lord will certainly be my God. And this memorial pillar I have set up will become a place for worshiping God. And I will present to God 1/10 of everything he gives me. That is the end of the reading of today. Now, 1/10. Now, what that means is a 10%. So, which we still do today. The offering at church, because of that verse right there, is more, I don't know if it's the only one. It may be said more than once because we're here in the beginning. But the offering at church, when you work, everything you have, God has given you, right? God has given you the opportunity to work, the health to give you to actually go out there and work, the actual income that you get from working, right? So what you get from your income, 10% of that goes into the offering in the church. It goes to God. But at the same time, it goes to help the church when it comes to paying for the building or the electricity, the heating, or the air conditioning when it gets hot or cold outside. You know, the supplies, everything that the church needs, okay? And we give 10% of that to the church as a way of giving 1/10 of what God has given us to him. Okay? Any questions?
I got one.
What's up?
Whenever he was saying all that to Jacob, wasn't Jacob the one that lied about being his brother?
Yes, Jacob did lie about it.
And I don't get it why God's giving it to them though. To him though.
They are fulfilling God's prophecy. God already knew this was already going to happen. Okay? With God, time is not linear. Not like us. We have past, present, future. Okay? Outside of our dimension with God, time is not linear like that. It's all at once. So God knows what's going to happen. So this is already predicted. Okay? What?
So this, all. He wanted this to happen because right now they really don't have any rules. Like we have the Ten Commandments now, so they don't really have that.
Right.
So it's different because they don't have rules to follow from God, except for that He's
Yeah.
one
See,
and only.
one of the biggest things with Genesis is, especially the Old Testament, especially Genesis, is our human history. Okay, so everything is just starting off fresh. So, as you can see, that a lot of them had a bunch of wives. Okay, so at that time, God did not, because at the time, God said to be fruitful and multiply. Okay, so He's trying to fill the earth. There is a time later on that, like, for example, how they said about how He took, like, one of His cousins as a wife. Okay, yes, now today it is wrong. But later on, God does say to stop. Like, there's a point in time where things do start to change. People start getting the rules and stuff like that. So, yeah, things are going to seem kind of weird on how, like, different on how they live compared to how we live.
But isn't it still bad to lie?
Of course. It's always
Yeah.
bad to lie.
But back then they really didn't have any rules like we're
God
trying to
didn't.
say.
Right now, we have not been given. They have not been given any kind of laws.
So they can do whatever they want, to a certain extent.
Exactly, because exactly what happened with Cain and Abel. Okay, I mean, he was sent away. God didn't strike him down or anything. He was sent away. He was cursed and all that, and that was for murder. Okay, so right now it's kind of almost kind of a mess. But God's trying to be there to help them and guide them on what He is setting for His plan. Okay? What?
Is Cain the first one who goes to hell, or is that?
I can't say that for a fact because it's not here. But if we go based on later on, honestly, that would be Satan. And Lucifer and his angels are the ones that went to hell first because hell was created for them. Hell was not created for us. Okay?
No, yeah.
Hell was a punishment for Lucifer and his angels. Then those who are not accepting God and following God and His rules have to go there as well. Okay? But it was not created for us.
So what he's?
But yes, Cain would be the first human
Yeah.
to.
I was gonna say, would he still go to heaven, or would he go to hell? Because they
No.
don't have.
No,
any-
he's the first one who bought a home there.
Okay.
So
Then who's the first one to go to heaven?
Jesus.
Abel.
No.
Abel.
the human.
Yeah.
The first one who died here
Wasn't that Abel?
Was
that
it in
followed God.
Was it in the beginning?
We can look that up another time.
Yeah.
Anything else about what we read?
No.
Alright. You guys have a wonderful night, and we will see you guys tomorrow night.
Bye.
God bless.
I keep on